It's called Jack's Bar.
Fillmore West.
That became John Lee Hooker's Boom Boom Room after he bought it from Bill Carlson.
Bill Graham owns the Carousel building.
Interesting.
I'm recording
know his
our
son?
conversation. See now. Your history right now. That's why Darren Pindery, same thing. That's why I'm making the BioKeeper. How big's your family, brother? Well, I hope you have somebody to pass information on to or something like that. That's why I'm making that fucking thing. Both my parents already died. I lost an uncle of AIDS when I was 17. My mother made me go see him every day, and I saw him get skinny like an Ethiopian person.
But you see, the thing is, it's the reverse. We think this is it.
It's
We're
not.
losing them. They're gone.
They're with us all the time now, I think. That's why I look at it as a benefit.
We don't have to know. You see, even whether you prescribe to it or not, even in the Bible, it says you're not to necessarily understand. Whether you believe or not, but to some degree you're prescribed.
Yeah, that's why we know the word God. That's all we can understand.
That's my point. Is nobody totally gets it. I don't believe, and even if they do,
They don't know. Nobody knows.
That's my point.
Nobody knows. There's no facts.
Anybody can come from any angle, anywhere, and tell me what it is.
Exactly.
Okay? And I'll say, good. I'm glad you're comfortable in your own skin with what you believe, brother.
Right.
On. Whatever gets you through the night or the day.
Not
faith.
the 40 virgins shit, though. I don't believe that shit. Well, I want my 40 virgins, too, but I'm not going to believe that whole sacrifice and all that shit that they're doing. It's crazy shit.
Whatever you like. I'll put the truth across like this. When the truth is spoken, the truth is spoken. But more importantly, one note. Just one note. Okay? One note.
There's 7 notes.
There are 7, but my point is, I can hear one note that Mike Bloomfield plays, okay, from Electric Flag. Or whoever, Dwayne Allman, B.B. King. I can tell exactly who that person is in 1 note or 3 notes. And most people will go, how do you do that? That's because I've lived it. Okay? And it's your tone, it's your phrasing, and it's also your vibrato that distinguishes who you are. It's like your signature. It's yours. It's no one else's. Okay? You got to live with it.
Brother.
You got to live with
it. Listening,
whatever
you
you
have no
put
idea.
out.
That's why I'm recording. I'm going to listen to his word. This is straight.
So, John Lee Hooker bought Jack's Bar, which is at Gary and Fillmore, from Bill Carlson, who owns Jack's Taps and one other Jack's thing in San Francisco. The first gig I played at when I got into San Francisco with Deacon Jones, who died several months ago, John Lee Hooker's B3 player, who was with Curtis Mayfield for 5 years and Freddie King for 5 years, previously to playing with John Lee Hooker for 18 fucking years, right up to when he died. Okay, Hook had come down to all of our gigs at the Boom Boom Room. He was there all the time. The first night I did a show over there in wherever we were. We played at some small jazz club, But I walked in, knocked out a gig, and then we drove down to Gary and Fillmore. And Deacon stopped, and he said, "You see that bar right there? Bill Carlson's Jack's Bar." He says, "John Lee Hooker's thinking of buying a bar, and he might buy that one right there." And I'm just sitting there listening to the band in the car playing Old Carol, and I'm going, that's the fucking Fillmore. First time I'd ever fucking seen it. I had goosebumps. Okay? I don't bullshit. Deacon's dead. There's 5 motherfuckers on the CD that you've got right there that are dead. Okay? And it's no small thing.
Exactly.
Okay? David Maxwell.
History dies that day. Time stops.
Piano. No, take a note.
When Prince died,
I'm trying to hip you.
time stops.
David Maxwell.
That day, time stops.
It will for everybody, but David Maxwell,
He's
played with everybody on piano.
Too, man, brother.
He's played with everybody on piano, including Hook, and everybody. Okay, David Maxwell, honor to have him. He was also with Deacon in the Freddie King Band from Texas. Okay, but the point is, David Maxwell's dead. Deacon Jones is dead. There's a cat named Robert Forte who plays alto saxophone on
beautiful
a few tracks. Now, he died in 2001 from cirrhosis. He was a heavy junker from Oakland who played tenor sax. But the point is, you see, he's a legend. Yeah, you can go to Twitter and it says Detroit Frank Dumont, internationally acclaimed blues legend.
That's the thing. all artists, their best stuff is always performed at their height, at their point when they're like struggling the most. I don't care if they're strung out, they've been up for 3 days sober, or fucking just alcoholic binge or whatever the fuck it is. That's their greatest
Bobby
music.
Forte
The
did
greatest
so
songs
much
are always
dope.
produced
He
then.
would have 3 cigarettes going.
Always produced then.
He'd have 3 cigarettes going.
I'm an artist.
These kind of things.
Of
You know what
all
I mean?
things.
They're-
We're an
they're
artist
big
too.
things. So listen.
Do you
so
paint?
Listen, I do everything. And I do. Michelangelo did all of his fucking work by the time he was 27. Made all of his own brushes, his own tools.
Really?
Nobody can imagine. Nobody can imagine. I
The
don't
zone.
mean imagine until you've really stuck your head up the ass and examined and seen how much fucking work these people put out
Exactly.
and the ungodly amount of quality and beauty that they created in the world.
10,000 hours.
And then also consider how far back in time and how primitive shit was.
Right.
There was nothing around like that
sorry,
shit.
Mama.
No, we
If
can't.
Einstein was born,
we got to bring the energy
sorry.
down.
I'm sorry.
No, I mean,
If
no, try
I
it
got
again.
you.
Try
I
it,
got you.
try it,
I'm
try
on
it.
the
Level
heartbeat.
3.
I'm on it. I'm on
Try
it.
it one more time.
If the
I'm serious.
if the
I'm serious.
heartbeat-
I'm serious. I'm
Yeah.
serious. Just try it one more time.
Einstein, if he was born like five
I
years
have
later,
to protect her.
absolutely.
That's
So she don't
shy.
attack me. So she
I
don't
think
attack
that
me.
may be gone. No, she's not
Oh,
going to attack
I can pack another
anybody,
one. I'm
but
just letting
try
you
it
know.
anyway, or maybe
We need to keep our
No,
Yeah.
it's the thing. It's the connection to the
the
universal.
heart mind. There's a heart mind institute.
Okay, when you hear this CD, I want you to think back of our conversation today. Bobby Forte, one of numerous horn players on this album. Okay, he played with Little Richard, Ray Charles, Bobby Blue Bland,
please,
and B.B.
man.
King.
Shush, come on, man.
Okay,
Holy
this man,
shit.
and plus
It's like
he played
looking
with
at a '65 Mustang, and like each one of those people is like a fucking timepiece capsule in their own right. In every certain way, the energy, the fucking energy that all those people produced in the concerts,
It's
all that
inconceivable.
lives in time.
Inconceivable.
I think about something.
Inconceivable.
When you think about like all the effort that went into just make something, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
like that, like how many fucking man hours went into this? How many people sat there at the fucking factory designing it? You know what I mean? Just like overall, when you really anybody looks at
It's got
anything,
the same technology I have heard as the fucking space shuttle.
oh, better
Yeah.
supposedly.
Yeah, right. So, it's all being recorded.
And it's
Anyway,
stupid.
the thing is Bobby
Yeah,
Forte.
we are being tracked. Not with my device.
I'm not tripping.
No,
Bobby
with my
Forte,
device, though, we're not being
just
tracked.
listen for 2 minutes.
I want you to know. Okay, I'll
Look
shut
here.
up.
Bobby Forte
Mm-hmm.
is on How Blue Can You Get? And on that song, he does what's called call and response. Means when I sing a phrase or do a line, he shoots in a horn line back to me. Okay, it's very intimate, and it gave so much legitimacy, if you would, blues-wise, to the piece. I knew it was all the way there, but when we mixed it, and we had to mix him in, it wasn't done that way. It had some things were actually chopped, sectioned, and re-put together. Art.
Right.
You're making a fucking masterpiece.
Orchestra, yeah.
And when I got to I'll Be There, and it was expanding with French horn, my uncle played the beginning, the intro, what's the fucking
I think
instrument?
all music
Pardon me.
should be an orchestra. I really
What is
believe
the
that in my
fucking
heart.
instrument? Harpsichord. Okay, now, the intro to
Everything
I'll
is
Be
classical.
There. You know I'll Be There. Michael Jackson's I'll Be There.
I'll be
Okay,
there.
but wait a minute. The intro, how's it start?
I don't know. I can pick it up.
I'm telling you. Jing, 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 jing. Then it does it again. It's harpsichord. Jing. It's real chimey. That's why I was trying to share this with you. Okay. So I said, cue up the fucking original track in the studio. I said, let me hear the motherfucker. And they put it on, and we all listened. I said, wait a minute. How are they doing the fucking intro? What is that? And I said, it's fucking harpsichord. Okay, well, we didn't have a real harpsichord in the fucking studio, but obviously we punched up fucking harpsichord, right? And Barney, who's a producer, my uncle, who's done a lot of, he's got 30 #1 hits in the top Billboard. Okay, and he's produced the Isley Brothers. He's produced Little Richard.
Amen,
He's-
amen,
Okay,
amen.
this is family, man. This is down in the middle of corn. All you got there is soybean plants, cotton fucking plants, and tobacco all
This
around
girl
you.
makes
Where the
sure
studio happened to be.
She knew just what
Right,
to do.
my Aunt Lizzie was a sharecropper down there, and I was there in '63 when all the signs were black here, white there. Right? Are you listening?
Yeah, I'm listening.
When I went back down to record there with my uncle, I didn't know. We were within 3 to 5 miles from my Aunt Lizzie's fucking farmhouse that I hadn't seen
5
since
miles?
'63.
Away?
And this is 2012.
And the
I'm
recording house is that close?
Yeah. It's called the Music Box. You'll see it when you put it under a microscope.
You could have been jamming the whole fucking time and recording and all that stuff.
I talked to my mom. She said, "Do you realize?" I said, "I'm over here in Williamston, North Carolina, recording." And she says, "You realize you're about 5 miles from your Aunt Lizzie's fucking house?"
Oh my God.
That's what I said.
How much property does she have? Like how many acres? Is it
Let me
acre?
put it this way.
Or how the house is
Let me put it this way. Barney's sister,
Well, back then everybody
who
had
has the
acres.
Airstream trailer I stayed in, she's got a $5,000 fucking tobacco plantation that got completely washed out. I mean,
Recently with the storm.
yeah, she's lost it all. But then it comes back, and then
It does.
But my point was, recording down there was so important to me because I got a chance to get as deep and as real and as soulful that I could bring out from within with the surrounding of where I was that I could not have done in Detroit. I couldn't have done it in LA. It wouldn't have happened with the same finesse in New York. The fact is I go to these small southern studios. I record in Boulder at Naropa Studios. It's a Buddhist thing. You know, it's a Buddhist. Naropa is like one of the biggest in the world Buddhist things, right?
It must be a ley line.
Listen. So I never played with these guys, right? Drummer, never seen him in my fucking life. Keyboard player, guy, producer from New York comes in, right? Never fucking met him. Drummer comes in and puts a pile of fucking buds on my dash at 7 in the
My best friend.
We're 24 fucking hours. So I smoke this fucking spliff and I walk inside, and in this like gymnasium, they've got this humongous silk tapestry of a Buddha. And I just sit there and my jaw hit, I didn't expect to see it. Just like, you know, my jaw hit the fucking ground and I got it at that point. I got the whole thing, why I was there, what it was about and everything. And it went right through me like a lightning bolt. And at that point I felt I'm at home. Cool. We're going to do this. It felt so fucking good, man. You know, it felt so good to be at home. And we had this tiny little fucking studio, and I had fucking music and guitars all over the fucking floor. You couldn't hardly move. And I sat in there and I cut I'll Be There, Traveling Riverside Blues, and one other tune we did. It's on this, you'll see it on the studio. But we got so much done in a short period of time, and yet the songs weren't finished, obviously, you know. But listen to this. So I got Traveling Riverside Blues and I'll Be There.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler Berber played bass on it, the guy from New York originally, because I couldn't get all the way through it on bass. Like I couldn't get through it with a flow. I'd have to just
nice rings, my uncle
read the changes, you know, off paper. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, but so the guy got the bass. So I'm sitting there in the studio. It's right. We're mixing it and finishing it at Ardent Studios in Memphis. And the guy goes, you know, the bass is pretty good on here, but he says I could get you David Hood. David Hood's done 10,000 sessions. He owned Muscle Shoals Studios in Alabama. He gave Dwayne Allman a job when he came to town. He did all the Aretha Franklin, Jerry Wexler Atlantic sessions. He's a bass player that did 8 Bob Seger fucking albums because Bob goes to fucking Muscle Shoals to cut. Get it? So he goes, the bass on this is pretty good, but I could get you David Hood. And as soon as he said, because I was going to drive to Muscle Shoals to get some gut bucket shit in a couple of these tracks, like Traveling Riverside Blues, right? So, and I obviously didn't have to when he said it. So as soon as he said that, man, I jumped up and I threw a $100 bill down on his console. I said, fucking send the stick, the master, to him today. And bang, he had it one day and that fucking stick was back and we're listening to it in the console. And I said, motherfucker, when you listen to the bass on Traveling Riverside Blues, when you listen to the bass, and he's the only white bass player out of the whole thing. I've got fucking B.B. King's bass player, Freddie King's brother, Benny Turner from fucking Freddie King Blues Band, and Billy Cox from goddamn Band of Gypsies on bass on a tribute to Buddy fucking Miles. It's the last song on the track. It's called Blues for Buddy. I can walk you through the whole motherfucker. It's all real. I've lived it. But the point is where I left off, which is really important when I was trying to connect. The one thing before all that.
The white guy. He's the only white guy.
Yes, goddammit. Yeah.
He's that good, huh?
Yeah, it blew me away completely. David Hood, because you see, when Paul Simon wanted to record down there, he said, "Get me all them black